Hello to you all. I'd like to discuss today who can learn Kabbalah. Kabbalah is the mystical part of the Torah and is something that we refrain from delving into until we're on a sufficient level that we can understand it. If learning the halakha, but let's try and understand together what this Kabbalah is. If you compare learning the halakha to learning to drive, right? When you're driving, you need to know how to drive. You need to know how to use the clutch, how to use the brakes, how to use the steering wheel, how to indicate, how to turn on the windscreen wipers, changing gears. You have to learn how to drive. That's the halakha. That's when we're learning halakha, we're learning how to drive. Kabbalah is learning how the engine works. When most people, driving is fine. Even though you can drive, you can get everywhere you need to go, you can do everything you need to do. You don't need to learn how to work the engine, how the engine works. But some people who have got to such a level that they're already very experienced drivers, so they now want to know how the engine works. They're fascinated. They want to know how the engine works. And that is what learning the Kabbalah is. Rav Kook was once asked, who can learn the Kabbalah? The same question. And his answer was, anyone who wants to know why they are living. And what's the purpose of life? Someone who wants to know that, they should be learning the Kabbalah, said Rabbi Kook. But that doesn't mean it's for everyone. It's a very, very specialist area of the Torah. If a doctor decides he wants to become a brain surgeon, you don't rush to learn brain surgery. You have to first learn how to be a doctor. You have to learn how to look after someone's basic body, how to clear up athlete's foot, how to do all the mundane things that a regular doctor does. And only then, once you've qualified as a doctor, then you can start specializing in being a brain surgeon. That's very much the same as what the Kabbalah is. You can't learn the Kabbalah, you won't be able to understand the Kabbalah unless you already have a very solid basis in the Torah that's been given to us openly for everyone to learn. The Shach writes that the age is about 40. Someone who's past the age of 40 and is married, they don't have things that they're missing out on, and they have spent their lives learning Torah, someone like that can now start delving into the Kabbalah. The Shulchan Aruch writes that someone shouldn't be learning the Kabbalah until they've already filled themselves with Torah and Poskim, with the Chumash, with Mishnayot, with Gemara. Only once they're full of that, only then should they go on to learning Kabbalah. Why this carefulness about going into learning the Kabbalah? The Kabbalah is very esoteric. The Kabbalah is written in a mysterious way. It's written in a hidden way. Things aren't said clearly and spoken out clearly, are written clearly in the Kabbalist books. You need someone to explain it to you, and a lot of mistakes can be made. Someone who doesn't have a solid base in the written Torah may find themselves going astray and misunderstanding things and coming to wrong conclusions. And that's why the rabbis say that Kabbalah is only for someone who has a solid base. Now, I said the age of 40, which is what the Shach mentions. The Zohar, however, writes that towards the end of days, which they say is our generation, towards the end of days, even young people will be learning the Zohar and the hidden parts of the Torah. And because of that, we find that today there are teachers, qualified teachers of the Kabbalah who will teach Kabbalah to even younger people in the age of 40, but as long as they have a solid base in the learning of Torah. If they don't have a solid base, then they can go astray, and it's not for them. And so to summarize, who can learn Kabbalah? Someone who has already filled themselves up with Torah, they've learned a lot of Torah, they can now go on to the next stage of learning and understanding Kabbalah to learn how the engine works. Thank you.